Have you ever called someone's name across a crowded room and watched them turn before anyone else did? It feels so natural that we rarely stop to think about it. But what if I told you that deep in the African savanna, elephants may be doing something surprisingly similar, and scientists have only recently begun to understand just how remarkable it really is? For a long time, people assumed that using names was mostly a human thing. We know our friends by name. We call our children by name. We even give names to our pets. Yet the idea that a wild animal might have something close to a personal name sounded almost impossible. Then researchers started listening more carefully. Elephants have always been famous for their communication. They rumble, trumpet, roar, and produce deep low-frequency sounds that can travel for miles across open landscapes. Some of these sounds are so low that humans cannot hear them without special equipment. An elephant standing many miles away can receive a message long before it ever sees the animal that sent it. Imagine standing in your backyard while someone at the far end of your neighborhood quietly calls to you and somehow you hear it clearly. That is closer to the world elephants live in every day. For decades, scientists knew that elephant calls carried information. A call could signal danger. Another might help a family group stay together. Some sounds seemed to express excitement, comfort, or urgency. But there was one mystery that remained unsolved. How do elephants know exactly who is being addressed? In human conversation, names make this easy. If someone says Sarah, only Sarah is expected to respond. If someone says Michael, everyone else knows the message is intended for him. Researchers began wondering whether elephants might have developed their own version of this system. The answer emerged through years of patient observation and analysis. Scientists recorded hundreds of elephant vocalizations and then used advanced computer techniques to study patterns hidden inside the sounds. They compared calls directed toward different individuals and looked for clues that might reveal whether elephants were identifying specific members of their group. What they found was astonishing. Certain calls appeared to contain unique vocal labels associated with particular elephants. Even more remarkable, elephants responded more strongly when they heard calls containing the vocal label that seemed connected to them. In simple terms, it looked as though elephants were calling specific individuals in a way that resembled using names. Think about what that means for a moment. Picture a large elephant family moving through the dusty grasslands. Calves wander between adults, mothers keep watch. Grandmothers lead the group. Somewhere in the distance, one elephant sends out a low rumble. Out of all the animals that hear it, one particular elephant reacts because the message appears to be meant specifically for her. That is not just communication. That is targeted communication. And targeted communication changes everything about how we think of animal intelligence. Many animals recognize individuals. Your dog knows the difference between family members and strangers. Crows can remember human faces. Dolphins recognize one another through unique whistles. But the elephant discovery suggests something slightly different. Instead of simply recognizing a familiar voice, elephants may be creating vocal signals that function like learned labels for specific individuals. Imagine your neighbor calling out your name rather than simply shouting in your direction. The difference may seem small, but cognitively it is enormous. It requires remembering identities, maintaining social relationships, and understanding that a specific signal refers to a specific individual. That kind of social awareness does not appear overnight. Elephants live in some of the most complex societies in the animal kingdom. Family bonds can last decades. Mothers, daughters, sisters, aunts, and grandmothers remain connected through much of their lives. Young elephants grow up surrounded by relatives who help care for them, protect them, and teach them. In many ways, an elephant family resembles a close-knit human community. If you think about your own life, you probably know dozens of people whose names carry emotional meaning. A single name can bring back memories, trust, affection, or concern. The name itself becomes attached to an entire relationship. For elephants, maintaining social connections across large distances may have created similar pressures. When family members spread out while feeding or traveling, being able to direct a message toward a specific individual could offer a huge advantage. A mother might need to locate her calf, a matriarch might need to gather the group. A family member might need reassurance after a frightening encounter. The more scientists learn about elephants, the more these possibilities seem plausible. What makes this discovery especially fascinating is that elephants are already known for abilities that once seemed uniquely human. They show empathy, they cooperate, they appear to comfort distressed companions. They can recognize themselves in mirrors, a rare skill associated with self-awareness. There are even documented cases of elephants showing unusual interest in the bones of deceased elephants. They gently touch skulls and tusks with their trunks, behavior that many researchers find deeply moving. When you combine all of these traits with the possibility of name-like communication, a picture begins to emerge. We are not looking at a creature that merely reacts to its environment. We are looking at a creature navigating a rich social world filled with relationships, memories, and individual identities, and perhaps that should not surprise us. After all, intelligence often grows where relationships matter most. Consider your own neighborhood. The more people you know, the more information you must keep track of: who lives where, who is related to whom, who can be trusted, who needs help. Complex social lives demand complex minds. Elephants have been managing those challenges for millions of years. As we continue exploring remarkable stories like this, consider subscribing to Global Wild Origins. Every week we uncover hidden behaviors that reveal just how extraordinary the natural world truly is. And often the biggest surprises come from animals we thought we already understood. The discovery of elephant names also reminds us of something important about science itself. The breakthrough did not happen because elephants suddenly changed. It happened because humans learned how to listen more carefully. For centuries, people watched elephants and saw large animals moving across distant landscapes. Today, with better tools and deeper understanding, we are beginning to hear the conversations hidden beneath those movements. What other messages are passing through forests, oceans, and grasslands right now that we simply do not yet understand? A whale may be exchanging information across vast stretches of ocean. A crow may be remembering a face it saw years ago. An elephant may be calling to a friend by a name known only to them. The natural world often appears silent because we do not speak its languages. But silence and absence are not the same thing. Every year, scientists uncover new evidence that animals' experience lives far richer than we once imagined. The more closely we look, the harder it becomes to draw simple lines between human intelligence and the intelligence of other species. Perhaps the real lesson is not that elephants are becoming more like us. Perhaps it is that we are finally recognizing how remarkable they have been all along. So the next time you hear someone call your name from across a room, remember that somewhere on a distant savanna, an elephant may be listening for a call meant only for her. And in that moment, the gap between our world and hers feels just a little smaller. Sometimes the greatest discoveries are not about finding a new voice in nature. They are about realizing that nature has been speaking all along.